Hi, I've come into the office at the weekend so that we can do a little experiment. It's an experiment into company strategy and strategy execution. It's a really simple experiment. All you need to do, if you want to do it yourself, is a box of matches. So the rules of the experiment are really quite simple. This represents the start point. This is where you are today. And this is where your strategy takes you. These are the goals that you've got. And each match here represents a project. So each match represents a project. Right? So when you're trying to implement your strategy, you do that through projects. Projects are how you enact change. So each match represents a project, and the length of the match represents the ROI. So they all have pretty much the same length, right? They all have a positive ROI, in other words. And many organizations will try and use ROI or NPV or some other financial metric to prioritize projects. But there's a problem with that, which is that ROI doesn't have a direction. It just has length, right? It has the length of the match. But you'll notice that the match isn't symmetrical at both ends. It has a head at this end, right? So we can say that the match has a direction as well. When the match is lying on a table, it's pointing in the direction of the match head. And that's what projects do. Projects either move you towards your strategic goals or move you away. Even if they have a positive NPV, they can still move you away from your projects, from your strategic goals, rather. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little random experiment and see what happens when we just use the length of the match, the ROI, to select projects. I've got 100 projects laid out in front of me. And what I'm going to do is put them all in a matchbox and give them a good shake and just tip them out onto the table. Right, the matches are all in the matchbox now. I'm going to give them a really good shake. And then I'm going to throw them up in the air and see where they all land. So each of these projects, as you can see, is pointing in a particular direction. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go match by match, keep the direction the same, start here and just lay one match after the other, end on end, like that, in the direction that the match is pointing, just like this. Now you can do this in the office or at home for fun, see what kind of pattern you get. So I'm going to keep doing that for a few minutes until we have used up all of the matches. Nearly there. Last two, that one, and then that one. So that took a while, and the path ended somewhere here. This is how we do it today. This is how we do prioritization if you're just using ROI or something similar, using financial metrics. So that would get you to about here. So we've made some progress from our start point, but not as much as we want to. Now, there are a couple of really interesting things here. As we said earlier, projects have a direction. And the Project Management Institute and the Economist Intelligence Unit did some research a couple of years ago where they looked at a broad range of project portfolios around the world and discovered that a typical portfolio will have 20% of projects that are so badly aligned that they should be stopped, right? So that's like having a match pointing in the wrong direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this now, and I'm going to take out the matches that are pointing in the wrong direction. I'm going to take out the 20%, the 20 worst matches. All right, so I've rearranged the matches, keeping the direction the same as best I can. Over here are the 20 that I took out, and again, they're all pointing in the wrong direction. So all I've done is take out the 20 worst projects, the 20 worst matches, and rearranged it. And you can see that now we've ended up here. Actually, remarkably close, pure coincidence, remarkably close to the goal that we set. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove all the matches so that we can see the progress that we've made. All right. So over here is where we started, right? Where we started from. That's the business situation today. Over here is where we want to be. And using just financial metrics and not particularly orienting strategy, the direction of the matches, we ended up here. That was actually pretty good. If it was truly random, you would expect, if you did this experiment 100 times, you'd actually expect for this to land exactly back at the start point because it's random, right? And of course, nobody's suggesting that today your prioritization process is random. So this probably represents the kind of thing that you are actually seeing today, that you make some progress towards your goals, but not as much as you'd like. But here's the key point. All I've done to get from there to there is take out the 20 worst projects, okay, the 20% of worst projects. So all I've done is I've taken out those 20% of projects that the PMI identified as being not aligned with your strategy. And that's what Transparent Choices AHP-based software does. We use real decision science, unlike trying to do this in spreadsheets or he who shouts loudest or even using a PPM tool. They don't really use decision science to get this right. We do. We use research. We use a methodology called AHP and a bunch of other things that we kind of put in the mix as well to help you do this better, to get you from here to here. Now, where would you rather be? Here or here? I know where I'd rather be. I want to be up here. So again, it's a silly little demonstration. It's not a perfect analogy, but hopefully it gives you an idea of just what the power of just taking the 20% worst projects out can be for your organization. If you want to learn more, head over to our website, transparentchoice.com, and there's lots of materials there where you can learn about prioritization, why it matters, good governance of projects, and strategic execution in general. So thank you for watching. I hope to speak with you soon.